Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome back to Chris and Andrew Outside. Andrew's on the camera.
Hey guys.
So today we're just going to do a real quick walkthrough of the shop that we're using right now. This is Andrew's shop, and he was kind enough to let me set up the rock stuff, and now he likes playing with it too. So
it's just a back garden shed that we had that actually a little bit bigger than a normal garden shed, but we're using it and it's working out great. So
yep. So start over here in the corner here. We weren't going to show you, but we've got a cab machine. We've got to get some better grit or some new grits and everything, and there's a motor that goes to it separately. There's a pulley over there that runs with a belt. We haven't started using it yet, but we will one of these days. But here we got a slant lap. I got another one of these at my house that I use every once in a while, did some videos with. Got a water reservoir up here, and then we get it flowing, and you got a valve to control it on the side there, and we've got varying grits here. And we learned after several times of using it to make sure to take the nut off the center so that these things don't all rust together. So here we got this Diamond Pacific cab machine, 6 wheels. I think that's maybe 60 grit all the way up here. This one is 14,000, and so we get the 14,000, and man, it gives it a pretty nice shine, but we still take it down to the end here where we've got some cerium oxide. But before we get there, so we've got this saw right here, and this is a really nice setup. It actually has a bilge pump or water pump down here. We put it in this bucket, and it comes up and it sprays onto the blade, and then there's the reservoir where the water goes into it, and then we've got this hose that comes out and deposits back down into the bucket. So we can keep using it and using it and using it until the water just gets too heavy with mineralization. It'll settle, but we just don't want it sucking it back up. So right here we got another trim saw. Got a centered blade on this right now, and getting some pretty good use out of it. I think the blade is probably at the maximum range size-wise that we want to put on this. Got it loose. Got a reservoir here that you fill with, well, you don't fill, but you put enough water in to run, and then a little bit of water aid, concentrated wetting agent. So, and then here in the corner we've got this motor here. We've got a leather pad on here, and we're usually put a little water in here with, got some cerium oxide and brush it on, and then got a spray bottle here that has cerium oxide as well. So, and here's a tip for today, guys. You get a bunch of cerium oxide powder. It's fine enough. Mix it up, put it in your spray bottle, and spray it on. This works, but man, this works even better. So. All right, everybody, so one other thing that I want to show you is that we're, little by little, we're getting organized. And Andrew went down to, was it Home Depot, Andrew?
Home Depot.
He went down to Home Depot, not sponsored, and he bought these bins. The bigger ones on the bottom are stackable, but we've only got the 2 right now, so we put this wood on top. And then these smaller bins are also stackable. And so right now, Andrew's got his petrified wood, and then lily pad, Jasper from Nat Cheese, and then I've got Jasper from Olympic Peninsula, and then over here I've got Seam Agate from, that's got some nice color. I think I've got a mix of Seam Agate from First Creek and maybe something from Red Top from a while ago. So anyways, little by little we're getting things just a little bit more organized so that we're more organized. So, all right, we're gonna head off back into the shop, and we're gonna show you one little tip for displaying your crystals, and we'll catch up with you in a second. All right, you guys, so if you just watched our show and tell video from Hanson Creek, we had these crystals. Now this is one that Andrew found and it's a double terminated scepter, so you can't obviously see the other end because I got it glued to this base right here. But it's a double terminated amethyst scepter, super light, absolute beauty. He swears he didn't buy it off the big auction site online, so I have to believe him. So, a lot of people have their crystals displayed and they use the mineral putty. Okay, you put the little blob of that gray white putty onto there and you punch the stone into it. I don't like the way it looks with the putty, so I use hot glue. So I ordered these bases, but I use hot glue, and the secret for using the hot glue is put the base of the crystal onto the nozzle of the hot glue gun. I mean, I suppose I could use a torch or have a little hot plate or something like that, but I like to get it warmed up just a little bit. And it's not going to damage the crystal. Matter of fact, if you've ever seen people using a dop stick with dop wax, they heat them up over the alcohol burners. And so I could do that too, but bring an alcohol burner in here and just heat it up. But I like to heat it up just a little bit and then put a nice little blob of hot glue down. Of course, there's always going to be a string. That one's really a big string, but get it right down there onto the piece of plastic, and then as the glue cools down, it goes from clear to matte. And here we've got a nice display. I usually like to get it so that it's on a flat surface. That one's not exactly the flattest part of that crystal, but we'll do the same to this one, but this one will be slanted at a bit of a slant. So just gonna heat this up. Now tell you what, you guys, you get these on one of those little bases that has LED lights in it, or a glass shelf that's got some lighting underneath, and with the light coming up through the plexiglass base here into the crystal, it really looks good. Nice presentation. You work hard for your crystals, you work hard for your stones, so display them nicely. All right, that stuff's starting to go matte and opaque. It's super clear. There it is. So pretty cool little presentation. But let's do it with the one that really counts. Just that lightest hint of purple on the tip. Depending on the lighting, it gets bigger and better. So, all right, you guys, so works really well. If they pop off and you got to do it again, you can heat the glue back up that's on the base, or you can peel it off. If you got a hard time taking it off, then use some isopropyl alcohol and I like to use these Kim wipes from Kimtech. They're lint free and they don't really scratch up the plexiglass, and it helps to dissolve that hot glue, and you can get it off that plexiglass and do it again. Both the crystals that I just glued had been glued on, and I popped one off so that we can do this demonstration, and one of them popped off, so glued them both back on, and they're gonna go back up on the shelf and be there to be looked at. Anyways, Andrew and I appreciate you guys joining us, and go outside.